The idea of the Graspables system really originated from a kind of high-level discussion of basically how we can improve multifunction handheld devices. And someone suggested that the ideal handheld device would be kind of like a bar of soap, an undistinguished block that when you first pick it up, it knows what you want it to do, and then it can adapt itself into an appropriate interface mode. And so that was kind of the motivating factor that started and led to both the name and the device here, the bar of soap. So the Graspables system is to explore what kind of sensors arrays you need and what kind of processing power, and exploring the pattern recognition to understand how people are manipulating and holding objects. And the two actual prototypes are kind of implementations of this system. And so in each of these devices, first the bar of soap, it's using an array of capacitive sensors that are covering all the surfaces of the device, so that when you pick up the device, it's measuring where your hand is. And also there's an accelerometer inside that gets kind of a relative orientation. And from that, it can use some processing classification techniques to determine basically how you're holding it. So it can recognize how you're gripping the device, kind of what orientation it is to you, and we can use that to infer some things. Similarly, the ball of soap has the same technologies as this, with 62 capacitive sensors covering the surface and an accelerometer inside. One of the applications we have for it is using it as kind of a baseball video game to select pitch detection, so that depending on how you grab the ball, it recognizes that rather than just like pushing a button on a video game controller. So the first application that we built to test the Graspables system was using the bar of soap, and it was to explore the idea of recognizing how people are using handheld devices. So as I pick it up and hold it, it will refresh itself into the proper mode based on how I'm interacting with it. The modes we explored were camera, cellular phone, a personal data assistant, gamepad, and remote control. Another application we developed for the bar of soap was designed to explore how grasp recognition can be used as a more generalized input. So as you can see, we built a virtual Rubik's Cube. And in this application, the mappings of the bar of soap's accelerometer are used to control the device, so that as you pick it up, you can kind of look at the cube at different angles based on how you're actually manipulating the device. And then to adjust the cube and start to solve the problem, you actually just use sliding gestures, which are then mapped and can manipulate the virtual device using the bar of soap. So from this, we were able to just kind of explore how grasp recognition and the manipulation of objects can represent virtual objects, and how this can be used to explore things beyond just a self-contained multifunction device. So the first application that we developed for the ball of soap was, as you can probably guess, a baseball pitch detector. So using the same idea as the bar of soap, what we're doing is the ball of soap is covered with capacitive sensors, so it's able to detect how you're gripping the ball. And from this, we use it to classify the type of pitch that you would be throwing. So that for, say, a video game, as we have seen from on the screen here, the idea is that instead of just pushing a button on a controller to select your pitch, you actually grip the pitch and perform like a throwing gesture. So the idea is that if you want to throw, say, a fastball, you actually hold the pitch like a fastball, or a curved ball, or say a splitter. And the idea is that by gripping it correctly and giving it a throwing gesture, it recognizes the type of pitch that you're throwing and will respond accordingly. Some of the things that we've kind of envisioned but we haven't built are things like golf clubs that know when you're gripping them properly and can offer feedback, whether you're going to slice or hook or something based on your improper grip, or perhaps kitchen appliances or power tools that know when they're being held in the proper manner, know when people are actually trying to use them, or when people are just kind of moving them or carrying them, and so that it can act as like a safety switch so that they don't turn on unless you're actually intending to use them. So these are just some of the things that we see the Graspable technology being able to expand to, and as you can see, it's a relatively simple system to implement in other ways.